Welcome back to the Nutrimedical Report. We are joined with Ron Flumen Photon. We always have news stories. Ron, you have a news story about Lumen. Tell us about it.
I was going to talk about something else about body mass content, but that was a study that was done at SMU back when I was in graduate school. Right now, we've got we're dealing a lot more and more right now with more horses right now, surprisingly, in the area.
Tell us about the horses. This time of year is horse time. So the horses were one of the first areas, actually, where pulsed infrared light therapy was used. And they discovered that you could treat the horse and reverse illness that would otherwise mean the horse would be put down, or the horse would basically never run again. And you took horses that were damaged, in many cases that won races, it restored their life, literally saved their life. So tell us about our horses, because everybody likes animals. Yeah,
this was when this was originally first patented back in the late 80s and into the 90s. They were a team of guys were working. They were veterinarians trained in acupuncture, and they were working at the racetrack in Albuquerque, and they were tracking the horses they were using. They were using this in the early form of it, and very quickly they realized that the horses they were treating were in the money, so to speak, at a very high rate. Almost all the time they were in the money most of the time. And they realized part of it was the horses were responding, but they were staying healthier longer. So they were able to race more times, and they were producing better. And they really, these were veterinarians who were trained, and they knew what they were looking for. And one of the horses had a bad eye injury. They were really concerned about that.
Right.
And they used that setting, the ectoderm setting for the eyes, what we have is our number 3. And that eye healed up rapidly, which was they expected to be longer by a long shot.
Yeah, we've had a lady actually who has a retinal surgery. The first doctors actually for more than 6 months missed her retinal problem. When they actually told me her history, I said, "You've got a retinal separation. You need to get into eye surgery right away." I even told her what surgical procedure needs to be done, because I've done every kind of rotation and locum, including I've done cataract and eye retinal surgery, basically vascular surgery, abdominal, plastics and orthopedics. I took 6 extra months of training, intensive care, every kind of surgery you can imagine I've done or assisted in. And I told her, I said, "This is what you need." She went and did it. Then I said, "You need to get Lumen Photon and our supplements," and her vision's coming back. That's a miracle.
Well, for most of us, it is a miracle. It works all the time for just about everything, or works most of the time for just about anything. Somebody's deficient in either copper or zinc, that can inhibit the efficiency of it, and actually block it in the worst situations.
But we didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, say, like you'll sometimes hear Dr. Oz say, "It's a miracle, just take one thing." No, it isn't. It's a whole orchestra of things. You might need the right surgery. You might need some medicines, but very, very few, if ever. You mainly need molecular nutraceuticals and the right energetic technology and nutrition, so the tissues actually have things to rebuild your retina, your eye, turn off inflammation, help the stem cells actually heal. And we have that technology. That's what's neat about it. We have that technology. Now, when we use Lumen Photon, setting 3 is ectoderm, that's skin and nervous system. Setting number 4 is endoderm, which is guts, basically liver, your bowels, etc. And setting number...
number 4 also is all circulation, lymph and everything, all of that.
Lymph, etc., yeah. And then setting number 5 is mesoderm, which is... What are the main organ systems you like to refer to mesoderm?
I think of muscles, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, muscle, all of that, more than anything else.
Okay, so now we have those, and then of course we have NICO, which is a combination of frequencies.
Yep.
We use it for cavitations, which is around the teeth. We use it for healing bone problems like cartilage. I had a gentleman this morning that had a consult regarding having very bad knee problems. I told him the first thing you need to do is do a laparoscopic clean out with the orthopedic surgeon to clean out the debris out of there, and then put Highland injection in, which is a 3 million molecular weight polymer, and then use your Lumen Photon and take our nutraceuticals like Joint Performance, Mountain Red Velvet, Collagen Max, anti-inflammatory, Inflamex, etc., And when you take all these nutraceuticals together, the body starts to rebuild the tissues, and you just need a very thin rim of cartilage with a hydroviscous layer in there. Firstly, hyaline, which is a polymer, then your body starts making it itself if you have the building blocks and the right energetics. That's why Lumen's so powerful. And I tell people, avoid at all costs the final step of doing a joint replacement, because you get particle disease where they break down, you get metal breakdown, and nanoparticles end up in the lymphatics. They can migrate all over your body and causing things, even distant syndromes like pseudotumor cerebri in your brain, lymphangitis, and all kinds of problems in chronic infections. And I can't tell you how many times I've been called back to my office or emergency calls with people that have had, especially knee replacements, that they've had horrible, life-threatening infections.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that can be really tough for a lot of people in situations like that.
Well, it's called reality, and the problem is, you see, it's reality. We want to avoid that kind of reality. We want to say, steer away from that. No. Let's take a right away from that reality. Let's take nutraceuticals to stop the possibility of infection. Let's take nutraceuticals to reheal the cartilage in the joint. Peripheral nerves. We see how diabetics that end up with bumping a toe and end up with sores. That peripheral neuropathy can reverse if you take phospholipids, like our omega cod liver liquid, Nutrifos Neurogen, which stimulates new neurocytes to grow, omega supreme krill, which has the phospholipids as well, especially krill. And then you take the technology. You start off with setting number 7 and then pop it over to Nico. Put your feet on the pads for a half hour at least twice a day, and before you know it, you're going to start feeling the ground again. It's pretty amazing when diabetics start to say, I can't believe it, I can feel the ground, I can feel the ground. The first thing they're going to do is...
I usually recommend on the foot primarily, but also on the calf muscles.
Right.
Like that area, that really does make a difference for them. We've seen that time and again. But well, they have to realize this is not a cure. They're dealing with the symptoms of diabetic neuropathy, so it does a good job of that, but it's got to be kept up with.
I have to correct you. I don't. First off, the cure word neither one of us say.
Yeah.
First off, either for or against cure. What we do is we say we can put people in remission, which means we can reverse the disease, which is a dis-ease.
Yes.
And we reverse the abnormal pathology, and we can put you in remission, which means your nerves now actually have new Schwann cell myelin covering. They will now transmit nerve impulses. They will tell you that you are smashing your toe too hard and you're going to end up getting a Charcot joint because you're going to destroy the joint. That's where the idea of a Charcot joint is, where you lack proprioception or sensory input, like your A delta and C fibers. So you go and smash your joints around until they turn into little crumbly little pieces. When you have normal proprioception and normal joint sensory nerves, the joints are happy. You don't smash them. You have proprioceptive movement to control the motor fibers, so the proper motor activation occurs so you don't rip your joints apart in the joint capsules. So when I hear people like Dr. Oz talk about cure or miracle cure, forget miracle. This is a practical cure. This is a practical reversal of the pathology. And so I don't like to use the word cure. You hear it sometimes with drugs. Drugs say they're the only thing they can say to use the word cure. A drug never cured anything. All a drug did is change the chiseling on your death stone, your tombstone, and change the numbers and the CPT codes, etc., and the coding on your death certificate or your inquiry, if there's some kind of drug inquiry done by some kind of panel to find out why you died due to a secondary to a drug. So they just changed the dispatch date and the dispatch reason why you've been dispatched to the next world. Ha-ha.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So you get a little bit of my crazy humor. You start to understand that it's very hard to talk to knucklehead doctors. I call them the toxic docs, or as Dr. Rogers says, one of our Academy of Environmental Medicine teachers, she calls them the dino docs, which I think is pretty funny. Dino docs. You can just see it, there's a Brontosaurus doctor. There's a Tyrannosaurus. There's a Diplodocus doctor spitting out prescriptions at the speed of the script pad. My gosh, how fast they can write. Totally illegible, so the pharmacist has to use a Swami hat and a silver and a very shiny crystal biofeedback.
Pretty well.
Drop me an email and I'll give you a protocol what I recommend for it, okay?
Okay.
We'll talk about it now. Welcome back, and we're waiting for our contact with Ed Brown, and we'll be seeing if it'll probably show up in the next part of this segment or the next. But we can always, this is live radio, and we take your calls, 800-259-5791. I want to start off, we still have Ron from Lumen Photon here, and I'm going to deviate a bit. I'm going to talk about some issues. When we hear about young girls that have scoliosis, and I did research with Dr. Stu Donaldson for 7 years on surface electromyography with the, he was working at the University of Calgary, Alberta. We did research for the Alberta Workers' Compensation Board, which is a huge board. Did research developing surface electromyography methods for picking up the cause of pain, which is a disjunction between normal position sense and motor firing patterns. And out of that research, I added electromyography to the technique for surface potential mapping for A delta and C fibers with Dr. From the Axon 2 scan, Dr. Jim Hedgecock, PhD, DC, head of the College of Chiropractic at Pasadena, California, for many years. And Jim and I, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, did a study for the University of Colorado and the State of Colorado Department of Motor Vehicles on repetitive motion injury, and proved that you can use a very tiny stimulus to pick up abnormal electromyographic patterns, or EMG, muscle twitching that occurs that requires a higher stimulus in order to cause the potential. So that means there's some form of blockage of the C fibers and A delta fibers. It's a very accurate way of actually determining if you're going to do a transforaminal nerve block with a pain specialist, put a pump or stimulator at that level, or use other alternative techniques to try to restabilize it if there's subluxation, chiropractic or osteopathically, because there's abnormal forces. Now, those abnormal forces, we can see them when someone has scoliosis. And in fact, what you see, for example, if you have somebody with chronic pain, is you'll see that when someone, say, rotates back and forth, left and right, ordinarily you'll see what's called 180 degrees for the sine wave curve for the opposite contralateral muscles. That doesn't occur. You'll actually find it's maybe 157 degrees. So when someone with scoliosis, the contralateral muscle firing pattern shifts the sine wave by so many degrees off 180. And that is very, very reliable. You can use EMG biofeedback for that, and we used Stu Donaldson's group, myosymmetries. If you actually put myosymmetries in your search engine, his main office is based in Calgary, Alberta, but he's trained psychologists across North America. You can do home EMG biofeedback that's very, very useful. You can do deep tissue massage, and interfascial adhesions are broken up. We use enzymes like Inflamex. And the most important thing, believe it or not, is every one of these people with myopathies, whether it's a myofascial pain syndrome, RSD, or a problem with scoliosis, they have a deficiency in coenzyme Q10. So I give CoQ10 Supreme Ubiquinol 4 to 5 soft gels twice a day, and CoQ10 bite into one at least every 3 or 4 hours and hold it under the tongue. Because the primary problem is you're getting a muscle myopathy related to energetic metabolism, and the EMG biofeedback and firing pattern is tied directly to abnormalities both neurologically and myographically related to the mitochondria. So that's one of the steps. There's a number of other steps too. So go ahead, Ron, and ask your question.
Well, I was going to say, we've had quite a few people who've had to deal with RSD. The first one that contacted us had it happened for her in 1944, and she was a teenager at that time, and she heard about this, and we've talked over it and sent her one for evaluation. And the last time I talked with her, she was in hospice care, and she said she was just telling us how it did not get rid of her pain. She said nothing, the morphine didn't get rid of it, the morphine blunted, but this gave her more range of motion, more comfort, and she felt better when she used this than with anything else that she was doing. Okay, and she has recommended others as well. There's
three sine qua nons with RSD. The first is that you're getting myographic decrease in levels of energetic metabolism of CoQ10, the production of ATP and NADH, and the CoQ10 is basically the sprocket of the bicycle. Things like our ALC 1000 and D-ribose will generate energy. Things such as our acetyl, the propanol L-carnitine, which we have is called IBS care. Things such as our mitochondrial catalyst and mitocarnitine, uridine, which is triacyluridine. These all raise the level of energetics, but you need the sprocket, which is CoQ10. You need the combination of both CoQ10 ubiquinol, which is we have the best in the world, and the only non-crystallizing CoQ10 in the world, which is ours, is CoQ10 Supreme, and you bite into it, don't swallow it, and it helps reverse that. We use that for post-traumatic myofascial pain syndrome, scoliosis, muscle myopathies of any kind, traumatic or otherwise, chronic, we call spinal stenosis, people that have chronic myofascial pain syndrome, or we call lancinating muscle spasms that occur at night, or muscle cramps. The next thing is they're always magnesium deficient, so you have to maximize magnesium, and you can measure through Genova Labs or through Great Plains Laboratories intracellular minerals. And you want to look also not only for magnesium, but the presence of heavy metals. A lot of these people have heavy metal poisoning. You have to detox them. To raise magnesium, you want to use magnesium glycinate malate, and I really push it. I talk at least 5 or 6 capsules twice a day, magnesium glycinate malate, 2 to 3 capsules twice a day of magnesium taurate, and 1 or 2 capsules twice a day of magnesium potassium citrate. You have to also take, that will give you potassium as well if you take 2 twice a day, or almost 400 milligrams of potassium as well, because that's important. But the magnesium is number one. When you raise the level of and stop free radicals, such as our Nutritrala, Cell Detox, Glutathione, Regenerex, you cover the next base, because these people have high levels of free radical generation. But the primary thing is myopathy, energy metabolism problems, magnesium deficiency, and trace mineral deficiencies, and in the free radical generation, need to stop that. And once you start doing training, and that we're talking about electromyographic training like EMG biofeedback, once you start breaking up adhesions, because they develop spasm and adhesions, so they need deep tissue massage and nerve glide exercises, they start making progress. And they may have mechanical problems like a leg length, functional imbalance, but scoliosis responds to EMG biofeedback. You do not, remember now, the muscles are the queen of the back, and the muscles are the queen of the body. The bones just follow. They're like the king, but the king does what the queen tells the king to do. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think it's the other way around. They think the bones tell the muscles. No. The muscles, it's like big fat Greek wedding. The head of the family may be the man, but the neck is the woman. You follow me? Think of the muscles as like the real, the determinant of the family.
I was reminded this morning about 4 o'clock in the morning when I woke up and said, I have muscle cramps in my calves, and I had done a lot of outside work yesterday, and I'd taken my basic magnesium earlier in the day. I needed more. Yeah,
well, the magnesiums are generally out there pretty, not very good. Ours is absolutely superior. Magnesium glycinate, which is amino acid trioxylate, and malate goes directly into the malic acid, the Krebs cycle, is super energized and won't give you explosive diarrhea and raise your tissue levels. If you take CoQ10 ubiquinol at the dosage I recommended, 4 to 5 twice a day, along with CoQ10 Supreme, ALC-1000, D-ribose, IBS care, mitochondrial catalyst, mitocarnitine, then you start to sap up the free radicals of Nutritrala, Cell Detox, Glutathione, and Regenerex, anti-inflammatories, Inflamex, and topically. Welcome back to the Nutrimedical Report. Now we're joined by Ed Brown. And let's start off with a vibrational platform exercise. And we, of course, have the web link directly to the most advanced, most comprehensive exercise vibrational site. I spent literally a half an hour on my high-energy vibrational machine today, and I am pumped. I can tell you the average person who thinks, well, that's not hard. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what. You just do 1 minute. And believe me, it took me a while to work up to it. A half an hour. That's at 50 hertz with the highest energy. And we're talking about resistant bands with body elastic bands in every possible position, calisthenics, extreme bends, squats, power pushes, forward, we call crunches, literally like 10 minutes of crunches with the highest power bands. These aren't easy. And when people start doing this, they have a dramatic blast in their exercise pattern and improvement in fitness levels, weight loss. It really is amazing. When, of course, we use it with our glycemics, LipoFlush, dibetaline, and all the other nutraceuticals, which I take in my big summer program, I'm doing fantastic. I mean, I'm really toning up like unbelievable. And the vibrational exercise machines, the array here, the 1000, which is similar to the Vibra Slim, the 3000 and 5000, which are the higher energy machines like mine, you can have vibrational cages, platforms where you can set up an entire part of your room or exercise studio if you're a yoga instructor. And you have a new machine now that even has a sauna with a trampoline in it as well, besides the vibrational. But these vibrational machines are very beautiful. There's 3000, 5000, 1000 series. They are a kind of piece of equipment you're never going to say, I'm going to park it over in the corner. You actually get a runner's high without even running. It's pretty amazing. So tell us all about the latest in these vibrational equipment. And, of course, the newest one now is a new sonic vibration and a new technology that brings the price down into a range where, the Hollywood style of, vibrational export, people that are, movie stars like Justin Timberlake, who uses a vibrational platform, and Madonna, who uses a vibrational platform, a lot of movie stars, a lot of pro athletes, these are the machines they want.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Bill. Yeah, the sonic machines are really the best of the best out there right now. The Sonic Life Professional is probably the best machine being manufactured anywhere. These are made over in Korea. They're expensive. They sell for about $10,000. But what she's doing is it's using sound technology to create the vibration.
But you got a new version of that machine available too, though, haven't you?
Yeah. They actually made it somewhat more affordable. There's a pulsation which you can get for about $6,000, and then they have another one which is a personal. Now the personal is designed for people 250 pounds or less, but the personal you can get for $39.95. 4 years ago, you couldn't touch any of these machines for less than $16,000. So they really made them very affordable. And
wow.
Using sound vibration in the body is really going to utilize it better than anything else. It's the least intrusive to the body, so people with back issues, neck, ankles, and whatnot. Not to say that a spiral machine wouldn't be okay for them, but if the sonic or the sound vibration is affordable for them, there's really nothing better.
Yeah. Yeah, it really makes a difference. Tell us about the different machines, because they need to understand what's the difference between the tilt-type machine, which is the VibraCore 1000, which is similar to the VibraSlim, the triplanar trimotion systems, which are higher energy, which are particularly good for fitness levels and weight loss. They just, in the same number of minutes, will do a lot more. So when I do 50 hertz in triplanar trimotion, 30 minutes, that's like a lot of aerobic exercise. Tell us all about it.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, the Sonic, again, that covers from 5 to 50 hertz. If you can afford it, that's the best of the best. Next, you have the VibraCore 1000, which is what's called the Tri-Motion machine.
By the way, you mentioned the Sonic one now. That price is not $10,000 anymore. I think it's what, $59 something?
Yep. Yeah, there's one you can get one with the Dr. Bill special. It's $5,800 with free shipping, and that's uses the base speaker technology and gives you all the benefits. And it's a strong enough machine. It's something you're not going to outgrow. It has the sound input, so basically there's sound software you can run through the machines, very similar to the Rife technology, where you can program in different frequencies, run it through the platform you're standing on and through the body for healing, which is really amazing.
Yeah. Wow, that's neat. Okay, now let's go through the VibraCore machines.
Sure. The VibraCore 1000 is the next favorite. That is a spiral machine. It has 2 motors in it. It does oscillating, pivotal, and spiral motion. That's going to go from 5 hertz to 50. The lower end of the hertz range is really good for lymphatic drainage. So this one's going to help you with lymphatic drainage, muscle toning, balance, bone density, weight loss, tightening of the skin, and overall blood circulation. The spiral is really nice. It's a spin-off on the oscillating, which is just teeter-totter. By activating both motors, the platform is actually going in a figure-8 motion, which makes it a lot more gentle for the body, but still just as effective. That's also one technology, they say to use these 10 minutes a day. With the spiral, because it's a lot more gentle in the back and the joints and whatnot, you can use it multiple times a day without, negatively impacting the body. The next technology would be the linear, or the triplanar. That's basically going to be going straight up and down. And that's going to be more on the, if you're really focusing on the athletic side of the machine. So if muscle building, weight loss are your main goals, you should see results faster with a triplanar, which is going to be more like the VibraCore 3000 and 5000.
Right.
There's also a video screen on there which walks you through the exercises. So if you're not in a rush for the muscle building and the muscle building and the weight loss, and just slow and steady, you can go with the VibraCore 1000. If you're looking for more of a quicker results for muscle building and weight loss, you'll probably see those faster with the 3 and 5000.
Oh, most definitely.
If you go to,
most definitely.
Yeah. And if you go to the link on the bottom of Dr. Siegel's site there, or you can go directly to discountvibrations.com, there'll be a 22-question quiz that'll ask you some questions about your health, what you're looking for the machine to achieve, and it'll pick out the perfect machine for you.
Now, that questionnaire, if they go directly from the link, it's either discountvibrations.com. Make sure they put in the fact that they were sent from Nutrimedical. But the best way is to go from Nutrimedical. They go under products. They'll see a list of products. They go down to vibrational exercise equipment, hit that link, and it'll take them directly to the link page for Discount Vibrations, so they'll know they were sent from Dr. Bill and Nutrimedical. That questionnaire will tell them what equipment is going to be best for them based on their history, isn't it? It's a very amazing, intelligent questionnaire kind of system that almost like artificial intelligence. It actually will tell you the right questions.
Yeah, it's going to ask you everything from diabetes, MS, Parkinson's, any kind of implants in the body, what you're looking to achieve, any kind of injuries, and kind of single out which machines are not going to be good for you, and kind of gather a couple of those that'll be really good for you to choose from.
Right.
Also, when you go through Dr. Bill's link, it goes up automatically. Or if you go to Discount Vibrations, make sure that you mention Dr. Bill or Nutrimedical, because you do get a good discount on any of the machines that you purchase once we know that you came from there. Yeah.
Now, the vibration equipment, a lot of people really need to understand this is a time to start. You don't want your health to go downhill. And the most important antidote to, I call it vitamin X for exercise. This is the center type of any exercise for rehab, for optimum fitness, for anti-aging. It's non-traumatic to joints. It improves connective tissues and bone density. It improves proprioception or position sense, so you reduce the chance of injuries or falls. It improves circulation of your central body, circulation of your heart and lungs, but also lymphatic pumping. It does so many things that are unique that no other exercise. It raises metabolic rate. It raises fat metabolism, brown fat metabolism. It does so many things that no other exercise does. It's also protective, so if you're a runner or a cyclist or a martial artist or do anything else, this is what you want to do. Stay right there. We'll be back in just a moment with Ed Brown and your questions on anything dealing with vibrational exercise or far infrared sauna for detox and weight loss. It burns calories like crazy. Back in a moment with Ed Brown. The 360 far infrared saunas Pro Line are available right now. Welcome back, and we're talking now to Ed Brown, and I guess you're on vacation now, so I could hear on the break a little bit of fun going on with some of the kids near the lake. One of the things that's important for people to understand is that if you don't take care of your health, don't worry. If you ignore it, it will walk away from you. You don't keep yourself fit, don't worry, you'll become slovenly. If you don't continue to move your body, don't worry, your doctor will toxically poison you with enough drugs to make sure that you don't even recognize your physician from visit to visit. In fact, one of my geriatric colleagues with a good sense of humor years ago said he continues to take away drugs that his colleagues give patients until they recognize them from visit to visit. And the fact is, if you want to stay healthy, you've got to move your body. Movement is the antidote to drugs. Movement is the antidote to diabetes, obesity, low metabolism rate, and even glandular problems. It even helps your body detox. So when you're getting through infrared sauna, it's going to pull the toxins out and heavy metals, and you need to take your Keeler Max, Xenoestrin Detox, and NutriDefense, Liquid Zeolite. When you're trying to get yourself fit, you want to start off with vibrational platform exercise. Then you can add things like vigorous walking on a treadmill, stair climber, tennis games, swimming laps in your pool, which I do in the afternoons after I finish my morning routine exercise. You got to play it up. But if you don't push yourself, and that's where the vibrational exercise does, 10 minutes is equivalent to 1 hour physiologically of exercise. So I'm now up to a half an hour of high energy vibrational platform exercise. Half an hour. That's a lot. And, people that haven't been on a machine before say, go on my machine. Here, you come visit here. Go on for 1 minute. Just do 1 minute. They go, man, that's hard on you. I said, yeah. Try to do resistance exercise like when I go and do full body push-ups with my perfect push-up pads on the vibrational platform, and you do sets of 10 or 20 push-ups with your whole body weight. That's not funny. And it's like if you're on 50 hertz, every time you do a push-up, you're actually doing like many, many push-ups because the Golgi tendon apparatus is being pushed. Your body is pumping those lymphatics, improving blood supply, improving proprioception, telling the body you need to make more muscle tissue. We have a caller, Jay, I guess, is calling in too, I guess. So I guess we did get Jay eventually. Ed, can we get you back in tomorrow for a little bit more talk? Can you pop in the middle of the hour?
Absolutely, yeah. And if anybody has any questions or want to know about the vibrations, just go to www.discountvibrations.com. Make sure you mention Dr. Bill Deagle for a discount. Again, it's discountvibrations.com.
Right, and what we'll do is we'll give us a number, the contact number, the 800 number.
Sure, it's 1-800-975-6981. Again, it's 1-800-975-6981.
Perfect. Okay. We'll see you at 4:15 tomorrow for a little while. Just say a break for 15 minutes while you're having a vacation. Important to remind people, because this is the way to get your summer fitness back, is to get vibrational equipment, infrared sauna, to get yourself on track and losing weight and feeling great. Thank you, Ed. Now we're switching over to our expert on Silver 100, Jay Newman. Jay, welcome back to the program. It's been months. Tell us all about Silver 100. It's one of our most popular, highest selling, the thousands of times stronger than any other silver. And when people have summer colds, viruses, flu, breakout of all kinds of infections, rashes, Silver 100 is like the secret weapon. Tell us all about it.
Thank you, Dr. Deagle. Well, of course, I always like to start with the obligatory disclaimer that Silver 100 has never been proven to do anything for killing germs or, fighting disease, and we don't make any claims it does anything of the sort. We're just replacing the silver that's been depleted from the average American's diet, which has been depleted well over 85% in the past 100 years through modern agriculture, demineralization of our soil. But what's known today about the benefits of ionic silver, which requires, and I want to make this very clear because people are so confused, the colloidal silver field, ionic silver field is such a mess. It's kind of like going through this metamorphosis where people are still back in the olden days where it was believed the Earth was flat, or it was believed the Earth was the center of the universe. And then new science comes, but the world hasn't gotten it yet because the embedded interests, the colloidal silver field has been, John Hamill, the founder and director of International Advocates for Health Freedom, who is such an incredible freedom fighter for natural health and lobbying and educating the public. He's the one that introduced you and I originally, as you remember. He said to me once, the colloidal silver field has been hijacked by 2-bit con men. And that's really an accurate assessment. The claims that have been made about colloidal silver are so bizarre. The companies that have dominated the field they've jockeyed for position and dominated the field with the most egregious, completely false, flamboyant, nonsense lies. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Pictures under the microscope.
And by the way, you're getting a percentage of ionic silver from any form of silver, but you need to take gallons of it. And when we take tiny sprays or drops of the actual ionic citrate complex, this is thousands of times stronger than theirs. It's all 100% in the lethal form and in the stem cell activating form. Stem cells are activated by ionic silver. Pathogens are killed by ionic silver. Mycobacteria, fungi, viruses, etc. Tuberculosis. So really, there's no comparison to this product to anyone else. Anybody who says otherwise, they're a bold-faced liar. I don't care if they call it, silver lungs or colloidal home generator or nanoparticle or oxysilver or hydrosilver. They're all liars.
They're all making the exact same stuff as each other, which is colloidal silver, which has been around for way over 100 years, which is made through this archaic method, and it's well known. They even admit.
And by the way, it would have some benefit. I mean, they used to make, even after Semmelweis and they cleaned the wound, they would use silver in Germany, let's say 90 years ago, in order to prepare someone for surgery. But we are beyond that technology now. This chemistry is so far beyond that, it's not funny. And the size of the bottles and the amount of money you're going to save by having Silver 100 in its super powerful form and comparability and its long-standing, if you keep it under the sunlight and heat in a cool place like a refrigerator or a cool room under 75 degrees, it's going to last for years and years. Just don't expose it to heat and sunlight. And it's amazing.
True. And Dr. Deagle, let me lay out a few quotations that really make things clear for listeners, because I haven't done a show in a while, and people may not be familiar. The former head of the Department of Chemistry at the University of Miami had stated that there's no way to come within a fraction of the efficiency of Silver 100 without infringing on the patent. that it's light years ahead of anything else in the field. The former head of the Department of Chemistry at Florida Atlantic University has gone on record, and it's on our website as a big quote. He says silver 100 is somewhere between a few hundred and a few thousand times more efficient than any other form of silver on the market, drop for drop, dollar for dollar, microgram of silver to microgram of silver. And the reason is because it's well known today that the colloidal silver products are all almost 100% inert, useless silver metal, and the tiny amount of silver ions. One company loves to claim big percentages, but it's all false claims. The science is very well known.
Right. Yeah, in other words, as soon as you take this, for example, we have the regular spray, the nasal spray. If you get a cold, nasal spray immediately. If you think you're getting even seasonal allergies, I tell people, I started this years ago, take the silver nasal spray, put it in your nose, and take 3 or 4 sprays each nostril and breathe it in. And you say, I can't believe it, my seasonal allergies disappeared. I tell them to take it for inhalation with asthma. We've got people off the rescue inhaler by taking silver 100 spray, and it kills off the class 3 rhinovirus that actually triggers off asthma attacks as well as other viruses, mycobacteria, and opportunistic organisms. And it turns out they don't need the rescue inhaler anymore. We have this all the time, chronic lung disease, even cystic fibrosis. We have people with chronic cystic infections that have gooey, horrible-looking sputum. We give them digestive enzymes to break it up, like our Inflamex and Gastrozyme. We tell them to take silver 100 inhalations. The neat thing is it goes right through the biofilm, so it kills off the resistant organisms, and there can never be resistance development. That's what's wonderful about it. It is absolutely the best hygiene you can do for your nose, your GI tract, your mouth, your teeth, your periodontal tissues. Brush your teeth with silver 100 with those toothpaste. Bye-bye nanobacteria, bye-bye plaque. It's amazing. We need to get you on for longer segments there, Jay. Can you come back tomorrow for a few minutes?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's get you on, let's say around, 4:30 tomorrow, your time.
4:30 tomorrow my time. A longer segment or a 15-minute segment?
I don't know. We have 2 segments sitting there so far, so we'll have lots of time to talk about it. Let's bring up some of the science as well. Because people need to know, we got a big sale coming on over the 4th of July. People need a stockpile. The airborne plagues are coming, especially as kids return to school in about 2 months, around August. Believe it or not, it's only 2 months away, and school's in. We'll be back in a moment with Hour 3. Tim Alexander, top of the hour.